Hello again, everybody. Third time is a charm. We are going to get through this 2020 Nurses of Influence event, and we're going to do so joyfully. And YouTube, get your act together, buddy. You're acting drunk, YouTube. We might have to send you home, but not till the end of this program. Keep it together. Anyway, if you have navigated now to a third link, we thank you for staying with us, and know that that's just how things go in the land of Corona. You just have to roll with the punches sometime. And if 2020 has taught me nothing else, it would be that lesson. You don't always get what you anticipated, so just deal with what you got and make the best of it. So here we go. Friends, it is time for the heart of the event. Now it is time to celebrate our 2020 Nurses of Influence. This year, since we didn't get to celebrate in person, I had this incredible opportunity, and thank you, UW School of Nursing, for giving me this opportunity to individually interview each one of the awardees. And let me tell you, and I mean this sincerely when I say it, they're all amazing. And they're all amazing and unique in their own very specific ways. It was a joy to spend time with them. Now, you also can spend more time with them. If you'd like to learn more about each of the awardees and watch the interviews after tonight's event, please follow the link that we're going to put in the chat for you. We'll also be sending these out in email to all of the attendees after this event. But again, I say it's so worth giving these interviews a watch. They're not long, but they are absolutely full of information, so inspiring. And I actually learned so much about the different genres of nursing by spending time with these folks. So watch those videos. You will love them. Okay, now for the awardees. Our first awardee is Jose Paras Avila, who received the 2020 Distinguished Alumni Award. Jose is a triple dog, receiving his Bachelor of Science in Nursing in 2009, his Master of Nursing in 2007, and his Doctor of Nursing Practice in 2008. From where? The UW School of Nursing. As a nurse practitioner and educator, Jose has spent his career advocating for inclusive healthcare of LGBTQ+ and HIV-positive populations. Jose, thank you for showing us that you can pursue your passion as a nurse. And in my conversation with him, which you'll see when you watch the video, we had a really interesting conversation about the parallels between the early 80s and before AIDS had a name, and that pandemic, and then this one. You know, there are some parallels, and Jose has been, you know, serving the community through both of them. So thank you, Jose. And now please head to the chat and give Jose a huge virtual round of applause. He certainly deserves it. All right, now our next awardee is Patricia Blissett, who is our 2020 Distinguished Practitioner Awardee. Dr. Blissett is a neuroscience clinical nurse specialist at Harborview and Swedish Medical Centers. And as if that doesn't keep her busy enough, she also serves as an associate professor and clinical affiliate faculty at the UW School of Nursing. I can tell you that Pat works tirelessly on behalf of her patients and asks for little in return. And in the time that I got to spend with her, I was just so charmed by her sense of humor. I mean, she has an amazing sense of humor. So please head to the chat and give her a humongous virtual round of applause, because she also deserves all the virtual applause. All right, on to the next award. This year, our selection committee felt 2 people were deserving of the 2020 Distinguished Advocate Administrator Leader Awards. Our first awardee is Katie Johnson, a school nurse and lecturer in the Child, Family, and Population Health Nursing Department at the School of Nursing. Aside from being a school nurse and educator, my conversation with Katie really showed me that she is a passionate advocate for social justice and elevating the profession of school nurses. So again, you know how to do it. You need to head to the chat and cheer on Katie. Give her huge congratulations. And I loved talking with her because I loved the way she centered the child's perspective in all of her work. It was a really great conversation that I got to have with her. Our other Distinguished Advocate Administrator Leader Awardee is Lois Schipper, who serves as the new nurse. Wow, I just tripped all over my tongue. Let's pick my tongue back up, put it in my mouth, and try that again. Lois serves as the nurse supervisor in the Department of Adult and Juvenile Detention at the Children and Family Justice Center. Lois has had a long career as a public health leader and advocate in local, state, national, and international settings, and is proud to be a nurse because she values relationships and supporting individuals to live their best life. Live your best life. Lois is here to help you do it. Lois is truly amazing. Again, you know how this goes. You're going to go to the chat and cheer and root and holler and virtually stomp and clap for Lois. She was so fantastic to talk to. I enjoyed my time with her very much. Now, our next awardee is the 2020 Distinguished Researcher, Deborah Ridling. And Deborah, I saw you in the chat, so I know you're here. Deborah serves as the director of the Center for Pediatric Nursing Research at Seattle Children's Research Institute. Aside from being known for her leadership and commitment to collaboratively advancing nursing, Deborah has been heralded for her mentorship, relationship building, and commitment to diversifying Seattle Children's workforce. So round of applause in the chat for Deborah, another well-deserved award. Our next nurse leader is 2020 Dr. C. June Strickland, Distinguished Diversity and Transcultural Nursing Advocate. Say that 5 times really fast. I dare you. The awardee is none other than Frankie Manning. She is a retired nurse executive and Army nurse who is spending her time consulting on eliminating healthcare disparities and homelessness. Frankie is a passionate advocate for diversifying the nursing workforce through focusing on recruitment and retainment. And I have to tell you, in my conversation with her, her career spans, because she's still working, decades, and she is a literal treasure trove of historical information about the ways in which the profession of nursing has advanced and changed and evolved over the years. And you, Frankie, have been part of that evolution, and for that we say thank you. And we're in the chat applauding you like crazy because you're amazing. Last but certainly not least, our 2020 Peter Dyer Heart of Nursing awardee is a woman who goes by the name of TRUDI INSLEE. Perhaps that INSLEE name sounds familiar to you. A person named Jay has the good fortune of being married to TRUDI INSLEE. TRUDI INSLEE is such a delight. This award, given by the dean, highlights someone who embodies the UW School of Nursing ideals, which TRUDI most certainly does. TRUDI has empowered and advocated for nurses whenever she can, including serving as the ambassador of the Nursing Now campaign. So let's head to the chat and hear it for Washington's First Lady, TRUDI INSLEE. And I gotta tell you, talking to TRUDI, she was so incredibly humble. I mean, this is a woman who works so tirelessly on behalf of so many of us in Washington State, but she's just so humble while she does all of it. She is just a beautiful human being. So now, let's go in the chat and applaud all these awardees. Yes, yes, a huge congratulations to all of our 2020 awardees. I can tell you that spending time with them, they all deserved this honor. I mean, they worked so hard and are so deserving. And while we can't be together in person to give you a standing ovation, we are stomping, we are clapping, we are doing all the emojis that indicate how much we love and adore and respect you in the chat. So yes, please keep that love coming in the chat. I love it. We're seeing a congrats to TRUDI, and oh yes, First Lady, you rock, giving some love to the first woman of Washington State, and yes, love for Frankie. I appreciate that all of you are dropping so much love to our award winners in the chat. Thank you so much. Yes, and I also want to say to those of you who are award winners, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for your tireless work. Thank you for your leadership, and thank you for leading nursing and healthcare forward. I can't say it enough. I encourage you to watch the video interviews with our attendees, which are live on the School of Nursing website. We're also going to drop that link in the chat for you so you have it accessible. Maybe you want to save the link for later, or maybe you want to just roll right out of this event and right into those videos and just keep the love for the UW School of Nursing just flowing. Whatever you do, watch it at some point. You won't regret it. Now, don't go anywhere. We have one final speaker, and that will be our keynote speaker, and she is definitely worth sticking around for. And also remember, what did I say happens at the very end? The the final prize, the final trivia game of the evening. So stay here to the very, very end. Now to welcome our next speaker. Christy Henderson is the Senior Vice President for Innovation and Telehealth at Optum and also a member of the School of Nursing Advisory Board. Christy's keynote message will inspire you and help us all to see what's possible for the future of healthcare and the important role that nurses will play in shaping this future. And with no further ado, here comes our keynote speaker. Take it away, Christy.
Hey everybody, this is Christy Henderson joining you from Austin, Texas. I'm so honored to be here today. I would love to thank Azita for the invitation to join you today for the Nurses of Influence Award celebration. I could not be more proud to be a nurse and to be here joining you all to celebrate the honorees in this incredible year as we are in the International Year of the Nurse and Midwife. So thank you all for all that you do for the profession. And a special thanks and celebration to those that are being honored today. So I'm honored to be here today. And my hope is that my presentation will leave you feeling a bit empowered and hopeful about our future. There's such a changing landscape in healthcare these days, and the pandemic has really destabilized everything we know to be true. So we have an incredible opportunity, and I think that today I really want to talk through some of the things that we've learned and the potential that we have on the other side. And, I think that I'll cite Winston Churchill to say that we must not let a good crisis go to waste. And so when we resurface from this, hopefully we resurface from it soon. I, for one, hope that this would have been the catalyst for us to redesign the healthcare system to what we know it should be. We have a unique opportunity to lead that change. Virtual care has become an increasingly important component of our healthcare system, and we saw that during the pandemic when there was this reliance on telehealth, and it opened the eyes of so many people around the potential of what telehealth has to offer. And I think that we saw that from clinicians, nurses included, as well as from patients who saw the potential of what telehealth had to offer. The use of telehealth rose dramatically during these last 3 to 4 months. People that were the biggest skeptics all of a sudden became users of the technology because we didn't have any other option. In my own health organization where I work with Optum Health, we actually have now seen 1.3 million video visits providing access to patients who needed care, and that was just in 4 months. And I compare that to the year before when we had only seen 1,000 visits. So from 1,000 last year to in 4 months, 1.3 million visits. And nurses really have a unique opportunity to lead in this new digital world that we have to ensure safe, quality care reaches those that are in need. So today I'd love to talk a little bit about 3 important key measures, which I think that as we talk about technology, people will often start thinking there's not a relationship or it's cold and impersonal. And so what I want to talk about is how we can be high tech and high touch, but I'm going to talk about experience, intelligence, and impact. So when we think about experience, telehealth has offered us to deliver safe and effective and convenient care amidst this pandemic. Where in-person actually hasn't been able to do that. So we closed the clinics and we were forced at creating a new experience to give access. But we really need to build a solution that is convenient, and it is actually lowering a burden for our clinicians as well. The second piece I wanted to touch on today was intelligence. The technology can enable a smarter care team that can anticipate needs, personalize services based on preferences and needs, and make navigation even easier. This approach is used in every other industry. And of course, we all know the friendly airline apps that are out there that help you to select flights based on your preferences, and you can sort it by duration or city or time of day or even your connecting flight. So we should be able to do that when we're trying to select an appointment for healthcare. Do we want to see it virtually or see our healthcare team virtually, or do we want to go in person? And which is the one, and that may change depending on our needs, which one meets the clinical needs of that individual as well as the convenience needs of the individual. The last area is impact that I want to touch on. And I think that it doesn't matter how much technology that we can say that we have, or the very fact that I could say we had 1.3 million telehealth visits in just 4 months. None of that matters if it didn't drive value. And so I want to emphasize that we still have a ton to learn around telehealth and when to use it and what drives value. But we need to keep the triple aim and quadruple aim in mind as we use technology, because the potential is there for us to really drive value in a lot of ways. A great example, we were doing telehealth during the pandemic, and there was lots of concern about, will our senior population be able to use this? Will we be able to close care gaps using the technology? And the majority of that 1.3 million patients that we saw over telehealth were actually seniors. And we're starting to dig into that data to understand what we can learn from it. But one thing that we're starting to see is we were actually able to close more care gaps in some cases and some markets than we were able to in person. And we're still trying to figure out why and what is it about those visits that allowed that to happen, because that's something replicable and that's something that we actually want to scale. So amazing opportunities here to have a better experience, a more intelligent and informed care team, and to have a bigger impact. So amazing opportunities, and this really the silver lining that's come out of this pandemic. So through the technology, we've begun to engage with people on a journey to health in a way that the traditional system has not been able to. We've been able to do simple reminders and nudges to try to, whether it's a medication reminder, kind of a pep talk or coaching around a certain disease or health education. We've brought in one-click tools that allow you to connect by video to your healthcare team. Those are all things that we couldn't do in the traditional healthcare system. And now the ability to personalize healthcare with this technology is really a game changer. With technology, we can deliver structured, high quality, and high impact healthcare to people whenever they need it in the most comfortable environment for them. By leveraging the data and analytics, then we can actually have a personalized experience, something that we also have had trouble doing in the traditional health system. Having access to specialists and scarce resources so that we can start to address some of the disparities in healthcare. So when I talk about all this technology, whether it's video visits, remote monitoring, sensors, or data and analytics, machine learning, I want to make sure we ground that in a real example that brings it to life for you. So I'm going to tell you a scenario of what is a common experience by so many today, and you can put it in your own context of how it may impact your own family or even how it might impact the patients that you serve. But I'm going to tell you the story of Julie. And Julie is a single parent of 2 children, and she's helping to take care of her father who has heart failure, but wants to live longer alone and independently. So recently, though, he was admitted to the hospital for an exacerbation of his heart failure. Meanwhile, Julie's trying to take care of her other 2 children, and she works. So one of her children has behavioral health therapy, that is cognitive behavioral therapy, that they are getting 3 times a week for a series of weeks. And so she's been having to take off from work, travel to go get those appointments for her children, and now she has this added complication where she's really now worried about her father living at home and coming back out of the hospital. And so in the normal day, that would have just been an inconvenience. She would have been worried. She would have maybe had to invest in having sitters or home health, as well as this is oftentimes resulting in her delaying her own healthcare needs. But with telehealth, she has the ability in a couple ways to change that. One is when her father leaves from the hospital, he receives a remote monitoring kit at home, and Julie helps him get connected and connects into his care team. So in that kit, though, he has a tablet and devices, and he's able to measure his vital signs that are uploaded automatically to his nurse that's helping to monitor. And so anytime there is an alert because of a vital sign change or a symptom that he reports, then they can video chat and even bring Julie in from work and all talk on the line so that she can coach her father back to health. So amazing peace of mind for both Julie and her father. But meanwhile, those behavioral health visits, after her daughter got the initial treatment plan, they were able to convert over to telebehavioral health appointments. And in the comfort of the home now, the mom, the child, and the therapist were able to connect for telehealth visits. And so we're talking about peace of mind. We're talking about earlier monitoring and intervention so we can prevent worsening of a condition, as well as now we have more time. And so now Julie can go get her own health tended to and have wellness visits as well. And so that's what the world can look like today. We really can improve the healthcare system, make it more efficient and more effective for families just like Julie. We're in a new state of normal with this pandemic. My hope is that it returns to pre-COVID days. But for now, this is our new normal, and we have increasing pressures financially. We have growing health needs across the entire country. We have a continued health shortage, health professional shortage. And then there's new concerns, of course, of the risk around COVID and should we go into a healthcare facility to get our care. And for those that are healthcare professionals, fear of, as they're doing their daily job, of getting exposed to the disease as well. And you know, nurses, we're the largest healthcare clinician workforce. We're also the most trusted healthcare profession. And so what we do influences others. It influences the entire healthcare industry, and we have the power to influence care delivery, the education system, research, policy, and innovation to make this type of reality a permanent fixture in our healthcare model. So let's not let this crisis go to waste. Let's really adopt telehealth and build a digitally enabled health ecosystem that drives value for those that we serve. So I hope this leaves you with a hope and promise for the future. I hope you all continued health and wellness. And again, I want to celebrate the recipients of the awards tonight at their Nurses of Influence Award celebration. Thank you again.
That was wonderful, Christy. Thank you so much. Let's get a huge round of applause for Christy in the chat. As a non-nurse, it has been really amazing for me to see how quickly nurses have adapted to providing care through telehealth and continue to innovate in using technology to reach people and provide care. And especially in these times, we are seeing nurses lead in many ways and in many spaces, in ways that they always have, but also in some very new and innovative ways, ways that we never could have predicted before a global pandemic came home to us, right? But nurses are doing amazing work, and they are just as visible as ever being on the front lines. And so I applaud you. I applaud you, and I thank you. Speaking of Christy, though, we'd love to hear your thoughts on what Christy just shared with us. Make sure to add your comments in the chat. We love reading your comments. Now, I'm sure with all that virtual cheering that your trivia fingers are all warmed up, are they? My trivia finger, my chatting finger is feeling pretty buff. Might do some chatting calisthenics, you know, stretch it out, feel pumped up, ready to win something in the chat. Now, we're going to do our final trivia prize of the evening. This is the one you have all been waiting for. The last prize of the night is a special Seattle Snackers basket, and this is donated by Bumblebee Designs. And I got to tell you, the value on this is $85, so I'm saying that's a lot of snacks. And don't we need some snacks during the corona times? Don't we? Just a little comfort nibbling. We're all doing it. It's fine. It's a thing. So this basket is filled with all kinds of yummy, sweet, and savory treats from some of our favorite Pacific Northwest retailers. And of course, oh my God, I left the socks. Hold on, I'm coming right back. The socks! How could I forget the socks? So we have our lovely Husky socks, #HuskyNurse, and they're gonna go so well on your feet while you cozy up with the knee-high socks and you taste some of these yummy, yummy treats. So this time, the fourth person to answer correctly will win. Are you ready? Are you ready? You're like, Sasha, I was born ready. All right, fine then. Let's do this. Here is your final trivia question of the evening. What ranking did the UW School of Nursing receive in 2020 from U.S. News and World Report for overall ranking of a nursing school offering a Doctorate of Nursing Practice program? So that was a long question, but you can see the question is right there. Right there. Hi, question. Good to see you. Thank you for joining me here on stage, question. So there it is. Go ahead and reread, but then get into the chat and answer. So remember, while you all are answering, I'm just going to think about the contents of that snack box because I thought I saw some Theo chocolates in there, and I'm going to just imagine myself wearing these really awesome knee-high socks, curled up on my sofa. Maybe my cat is sitting next to me. I'm petting my little feline friend, and I'm eating some Theo's chocolate from my prize basket. Okay, so, whoa! I'm reading the chat, and you all seem to think, are we being a little braggadocious? You all seem to think that the UW School of Nursing is #1? I mean, I love your confidence. I really do. I mean, I just love when people know that they're awesome and they just embrace it and they own it. Like, you don't have to be arrogant and cocky about it, right? To own and embrace your awesome, your brilliance, your amazingness. And you all are definitely feeling some pride and some love for the UW School of Nursing, because I only see that every single person who's answered so far says that the UW School of Nursing has been ranked #1. Well, are you ready for the answer? Because I'm going to give you the answer. And I might break some hearts a little bit with this answer. Because, yes, of course the UW School of Nursing is #1. Duh, we all knew that. The only reason I'm breaking hearts is because I only have one prize left. So, yay for the UW School of Nursing, and yay for you for knowing that we are what? #1. We're #1. We're #1. We have socks. We're #1. Anyways, they didn't win because of the socks. But I like to think that probably wearing these socks makes you feel smarter because you're warm. And when you're warm, you achieve more in life, right? Of course. I'm not a nurse. You're probably gathering that right now. You're like, these are not science facts, Sasha. You're making things up, and I totally am. Anyways, our team behind the scenes will figure out who was the 4th person to answer correctly, and we'll let you know that you're the winner. And I want to remind all 3 prize winners, in order to claim your prize, you need to shoot us a quick little email with your full name and your mailing address. And you are going to send that email to the following email address: S as in school, O as in of, N as in nursing, the word event, SON, event, at uw.edu. Again, SON, event, at uw.edu. And with that, friends, it is time to bring tonight's lovely celebration to a close. To every nurse and caregiver in the audience, thank you. Thank you for all that you do every day and in every year before now, but most particularly right now in the International Year of the Nurse and Midwife. And also, I mean, wow, we've never experienced anything like the corona pandemic, have we? And we've all had to be creative and thoughtful and resilient and generous and kind and patient. And I think this pandemic is really testing who we are as people. And nurses, you are gold. You are gold. Your heart just shines through. So thank you for your skill, your excellence, your intelligence, your leadership, and thank you for being brave for us, because what would we be without you? We'd literally be nothing. Thank you. Thank you for your work. Thank you for being on the front lines. To our generous sponsors, thank you for your investment in our school and support of this community. And thank you if you made a donation to the Scholarship Fund. Now, just in case you didn't get a chance to make a donation to the Scholarship Fund, we're going to pop that QR code. Oh, here it is. Here you are, QR code. Hello. So cute. Go ahead and scan that with your phone, and that'll take you right to the donation page so that you can make your gift. And we thank you so much for making a gift to the Scholarship Fund, because that is the gift that literally keeps on giving for generations, because you are investing in the future nurses of influence. So in advance, I thank you. On behalf of the UW School of Nursing, I am so appreciative that you spent your time here with us tonight and that you traveled with us to 3 different links. You were a brave adventurer traveling through the interwebs and finding us no matter where we landed. YouTube, You made our jobs a little bit tricky tonight, but that's okay. We made it through. Okay, please enjoy the rest of your evening. Consider going ahead and watching all those videos of our awardees because they are really great. And remember, please stay safe. Stay healthy. We're washing our hands. We're sanitizing them frequently. We're wearing our masks. And please stay in touch. We love the UW School of Nursing, and the UW School of Nursing loves you. It's been my honor to be your host. My name is Sasha Summer Cousineau. Thank you so much. Have a great night.